The fate of Diana Lovejoy is being left in the hands of the jury, who must decide if she is a ruthless villainess who plotted to kill her husband, Greg Mulvihill, for her own personal gain.
I know that you don't have all day. We've got mouths to feed.
Or if this happy homemaker is actually a concerned mother who claims she was just trying to stop Greg from allegedly sexually abusing their 3-year-old son. Now, as the jury is about to deliver its verdict, an anxious Diana sits in court alongside Weldon McDavid, the former Marine she had allegedly hired to shoot Greg. In a failed attempt, he miraculously survived. And Diana appears to be physically ill, waiting to hear the words that will either set her free or possibly send her to prison for the rest of her life.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder in violation of Penal Code Section 182(a).
You could see Miss Lovejoy look over at her defense attorney and, like, what happened? Like, just shocked disbelief.
Now it's time for her accomplice to hear his fate, and Diana Lovejoy just can't take it anymore.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon K. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
Diana has suddenly passed out, her body slumped back in her chair as family members cry and scream in horror.
You can kind of see her head go back and her eyes go in the back of her head, and she just slumps over. And it was a pretty loud, audible clunk when she hit her head on the table, and then she kind of spills over onto the floor.
Diana still appears to be unconscious as medics carry her from the courtroom on a stretcher.
So it was quite a bit of chaos.
Doctors would find that Diana had only fainted. But Jody Bruton suspects Diana might have even faked that.
You sound very skeptical.
I am skeptical because again, she's somebody who will hire a person to kill her ex-husband. She's someone who will accuse her ex-husband of molesting and sexual assault. So I would not put it all past her.
Bruton isn't sure Diana's tears are real either when she returns to court to make a plea for mercy, still denying guilt and still making the same shocking allegations against Greg.
I was sexually abused, and I witnessed my son be molested once. And I did take all the steps I possibly could to ameliorate that situation.
Bruton is disgusted that Diana continues to falsely accuse Greg of such an atrocity, especially after a full investigation had found it simply wasn't true and even praised Greg as the better parent.
And he genuinely is a nice man.
Diana insists she never wanted her son to be without a father.
I would never be able to do that. It's so painful that some people in this world seem to think that I would have it in me to do this.
Her partner in crime, Weldon McDavid, also turns on the tap.
I thought of my son growing up without a father. My father was killed. My father was killed when I was 24, and I still haven't gotten over that. I would not take a father from a child.
But the judge appears to be unmoved by anything the two have to say for themselves as he gives them both the max for conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder, sentencing Weldon McDavid, the trigger man, to 50 years to life. And Diana Lovejoy, who hatched the plot, 26 years to life, leaving just about everyone except the two co-conspirators and their defense attorneys in full agreement with the judge and jury.
What did the jury say afterwards?
They didn't believe Mr. McDavid at all, that they thought he was narcissistic and his story was just absolutely incredulous. There was just no truth to it.
And that Diana was perhaps the worst villain of about the diabolical duo.
They believe Lovejoy was the manipulator and the master behind all of it, that Mr. McDavid would have had no reason to come up with this plot or engage in any of this on his own.
I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.